Gacha of the year. I'm not a gacha gamer, I'm just a gamer. And let me tell you, Zenless Zone Zero has blown me out. Pause. I never expected a game like this coming from a genre that is focused around mobile gaming, people with gambling problems, and a bunch of APP, anime pixel perverts. You know, in the past, I did play Genshin Impact because, well, there was nothing else to do when it came out. I did like the game, but I didn't love it. I know they changed some stuff over the years, but I just can't go back after experiencing some restraints of the gacha system. Also, Primal, yeah, you know why. So I was really cautious when I started my journey in Zenless Zone Zero. And after 2 months of playing it, every single day, I can really say this game is fucking awesome. I want to go over 5 reasons of why Zenless Zone Zero will skyrocket in popularity. The first one being very crucial: devs' feedback. After only 2 patches and the coming version of 1.2, devs have been introducing and changing a lot of things that the community asked before. TV mode is boring and too slow, they add a new mode without it and change the fluidity of the game. Game too easy, new modes and challenging enemies. Battery system is bad, let's add a battery overflow reserve so you don't have to log in every 12 hours. Not enough content. There you go, loads of events. I don't know if it's because of the launch of WUA and the competition that brings, or because of different team of developers that MiHoYo has for each game. Man, I love to see it. The speed of how they respond to the community feedback is amazing. That's how you keep a game alive. They might not be perfect, but I think that until now, they have been taking all the right steps, and I can see by the quality of the product that they really like this game and they wanted to make it to succeed. And that's really good sign and a good start for the game and the players. Combat in action games is the most important thing. It's the gameplay loop that players will engage the most of the time, so it better be good and rewarding. And ZZZ does exactly that. The combat is fluid, fast-paced, and the gameplay feedback is satisfying as f***. And the animations are so extra and badass, this makes you want to play more and more every time. Although majority of the game don't impose a lot of threats, for a good reason, because, well, it's a freaking gacha game and it's the beginning, people pay to win. They are slowly starting to implement harder content to increase the challenge. That might be a problem when the gacha forces you to use the wallet for harder content, but the game mechanics allow you to go deep enough to master the combat and your agents, making you able to surpass paywall with limited resources. If you have the skills, of course. It might be too early to say this, because we don't know how the game will evolve over the time. But the depth of combat in ZZZ solves a huge problem for free-to-play gamers and balances the gap between whales and normal people like me, because if you think about it, in other MiHoYo titles and in gacha games, what ends up happening is that the stats matter more than the player skill, making you, the player, invest way more time grinding resources and maybe pulling out your wallet. So I really hope they dumb down the combat mechanics to a point where only having the best stats makes you enjoy the game. But to be honest, seeing the direction the game is going, I don't think that would be a problem. I hope. What it has been a problem is my next point, because this is just straight up refined and good quality of this. Maybe it's not a huge deal for you, but music in games have a massive impact in the game, and it's like just gave me chills in real life. Sometimes I was just playing with a stank face of how hard the track goes. I mean, listen to this. And not only the music when you are fighting, but also when you're exploring the map, the chill vibes of the calm moments. Man, it's just perfect. And honestly, with the new update, it seems like they are slowly introducing some kind of rock metal, which I'm a sucker to. miHoYo usually does a great job with the soundtrack of their games, but I'm not really sure if their other games have such a distinct charisma and originality like Zenless Zone Zero. More often than not, I just find myself listening to this outside of the game and wishing for more and more. But that's not the only thing I'm wishing of ZZZ when I'm not playing it. Let me know if this is true, but when you are younger, you are into melons. As you get older, you like big. I mean, there is no secret. Adult themes sells, especially for people who likes anime. But more often than not, I just look at games of the genre and depending on the style of the game, make me think to myself, but why? In general, for some reason, fan service in ZZZ doesn't seem forced or out of place. Okay, I don't know if I'm cooking too much or the kitchen is already burnt. You let me know in the comments. What I'm trying to say is that the world around it, the aesthetics, how the characters interact with each other, and the dialogue at least make it seem believable for most of the time. A good example, Zuyan. She's an adult who keeps in contact with her parents, she's a hard worker, and speaks and acts like someone at her age, 24 I think. It's not her fault, the uniform just gives the perfect shape. But at least, when miHoYo makes her really hot, it doesn't feel like it's out of place. I mean, she does a lot of squats when doing the basic attack, so it makes sense why she has that bakery. Thanks miHoYo. And she will obviously be hot. The game wants to sell the character to you, but the chances of seeing a very hot police officer are real, they do exist. At least in Europe, USA, no comments. Next example, Grace. She has huge airbags. Yes, but she also works very hard on her machines under the very hot sun of New Eridu. She probably just wants to be comfy, doing the hard work, and Coletta said it best.
Grace might know everything about machinery, but she's single as hell!
Jane Doe. Yeah, no excuse. She's just straight up a rat bait. You could say she's like Black Widow maybe, being a spy who takes advantage of her looks, something like that. But anyway. At least the characters that look younger are not that much. Yeah, I don't know about those ones. A little bit unnecessary, and well, definitely they are trying way too damn hard with Nekomata. But anyways, Zenless Zone Zero understands that whoever is going to spend real money in a gacha game are adults. Sometimes not responsible adults, but adults nonetheless. I hope. And I love how they pulled the trigger on this. Not just with the hot characters, but some of the story and dialogues. You have characters swearing, corrupt politicians and police, shady organizations, and for God's sake, you basically watch a porn movie with Zuyan. For reasons. What kind of reasons? I don't know. I just wish it was me. And yes, the best part. The game knows all of this and make it fun of it. Just look at this. It's talking about you. My last and final point of why I think ZZZ will be a huge success. Well, if you are a 90s kid like me, maybe this will hurt you a little bit. Zenless Zone Zero just made me realize how much I miss my childhood and teen years. Because the vibes of the game just send me back in time, I swear. The soundtrack you're listening to right now is from Gantz, an urban, semi-futuristic anime about aliens, came out of nowhere, great action, and hot chicks. Seems kinda similar, right? There are plenty of things that are related from early 2000s. How the Starlight Knights that Billy loves are basically Power Rangers, the W engines are like Bakugans. They look like round toys, but they are freaking dangerous. The proxy thing on teenagers being secret hackers with huge impact in the world. It's just like Code Lyoko. The fashion of ZZZ is straight up something from 2000s music videos. The disc drives. I mean, we used to have that, Walkman, but who use these drives nowadays? That's from our generation. Daft Punk looking guy and a freaking Blockbuster video store. personal favorites, this game just reminds me something like I used to play a lot. S for League, Guns the Duel, Cabal Online. What they have in common? Style, vibes, and action. Just perfect. I'm sure there are more things are inspired in the 2000s, but just caught me off guard. I didn't expect it to have such a nostalgic and strong feeling. Certainly, I didn't expect it of how much I like these aesthetics and vibes. I swear, if they make a collab with Mike Shinoda or something from Linkin Park, I'm gonna cry. If you're a 90s kid like me, and you like some of those things, well, congratulations, you've played yourself. Because ZZZ will hook you one way or another. Maybe that's not a bad thing, if you're responsible with your spendings, of course. What I'm trying to say after all this yapping is, Zenless Zone Zero is good. Like, really fucking good. If Genshin Impact was the game that shared the world of gachas to the world, ZZZ is the game that is making the gacha genre go beyond that. With engaging game mechanics, really good quality, and a totally free-to-play friendly approach. I just wish two things for the future. First, is that the developers don't get greedy and abuse the gacha system by releasing too many S-ranks agents and making some kind of artificial difficulty instead of mechanical. And two, that you who are watching smash the like and subscribe button, like your future pulse depends on it. I'm Cyberslade Zero. Hope you guys like this video, and if I'm not here anymore, I will be on my main channel. Take care, good luck in your pulls, and see you next time.